What is going on, YouTube? It's your girl, Monique Nicole, and I am back with another video. Before we get started, honey, if you're new to my channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button right there, right there. And while you are at it, go ahead and like this video. Hit that thumbs up button, baby. It's an easy and free way to help support my channel, honey. It is a new year, beloved, and we are still trying to do what? Growth. Say it with me. Growth. Okay. Happy New Year, you guys. When did I go live? Last week. Last week I went live. So we chatted last week. I covered, I did like a reality TV catch-up session where I covered mainly Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I think I covered Married to Medicine. Yes, I had I made a very thorough video. Connection is unstable. Whatever do you need, darling? For those who are watching, as y'all come in, please let me know how my Wi-Fi is. I am having some Wi-Fi issues apparently that I was not aware of before I hit the live button. So of course, there's always some connection is unstable if you're on Wi-Fi. Sure. Well, bitch, y'all let me know if my Wi-Fi is truly unstable or is my computer tripping. Okay. I think something is happening. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Let me see. You know what I might do? Let's do hotspot. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, the gate. I'm technical difficulties, of course. So sorry about that. I should be now connected hotspot. It's not stable. Just what's on the market. Happy New Year. You guys know how I keep a disclaimer. Into I think today shit on why key come on action. I was through this video. God, what's going on? My shit, your market, my what's on? I'm old and here I'm having technical difficulties that I'm trying to find. Okay, let's see. This is what my favorite. Got to be upset. Because I connect spot while still telling that my Wi-Fi connection is unstable. Going on? Just for me, connection is unstable. If you're, I'm on spot. All right, I'll be right. Um, This is yeah. This is some ghetto shit, and I'm about to cuss out AT&T because what had happened was right before Christmas, my Wi-Fi went out, and I had to have AT&T come to my house to give me a new router. So they gon' I'm about to cuss them out when I call them tomorrow. Anyway, this is so ghetto, so unprofessional. Hi guys, I'm back. My name is Monique Nicole. Thank you for joining. Replay crew, please do what you do. Hit that like button, support your girl. Again, if you're new to my channel, forgive me for the ghetto technical issues. That's not a normal thing on my channel. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I hope you stay. All right, y'all. Like I was saying earlier, I was supposed to do this video earlier today. I didn't. I was out. I was doing shit. I'm here now. Hi. Happy New Year, you guys. I miss you guys so much. I know I just talked to y'all last week, but it feels like it was a lifetime ago. Am I the only person who's a little bit off from like the holidays? Like I don't know what day it is. I don't even know what year it is because I keep on still saying and writing down 2024 when it's really 2025. Please tell me I'm not the only one who is still doing that. Nonetheless, happy New Year, you guys. We made it, baby. We made it. God is good. All right, y'all. So I had the pleasure last night of tuning in and watching the CNN documentary on the legendary, incomparable Luther Vandross. Okay. And for y'all, for those that don't know, I am a hardcore Luther fan. I grew up on Luther. I have very old school parents, okay? And when I was a youngin', my dad did not want me listening to no rap music. He was not with those type of shenanigans. I used to have to sneak and listen to rap music and certain type of music, whatever. So I say that to say, baby, R&B was definitely heavily played within my household. When I was in the car with my family, that was on the radio. It was R&B, 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 R&B. So yes, I am a huge Luther fan. So I had known about this documentary for a few months now. I had seen it being advertised a few months ago, and it finally premiered. And I just, again, as a Luther fan, I really felt like this documentary was long overdue. Okay. I felt like it was long overdue. Luther Vandross unfortunately passed away in 2005. That was 19 years ago. 2005 was 19 years ago. Depending on the month of 2005, I was either a freshman or a sophomore in high school. Okay, this is 2005. So almost 20 years ago, which is really sad and hard to believe that he's been gone for almost 20 years. It's actually really crazy. It was a lifetime ago, really. But yes, I feel like this documentary was long overdue. I really have always felt like Luther, how do I say this? And I don't know who's to blame, and not really blame, but I always felt like Luther's legacy was forgotten about. I felt like, of course, seeing the documentary, I was reminded that while he was on earth, he did receive his flowers and credit from his peers, right? Fellow singers, fellow musicians, everybody praised Luther while he was here, which is great. And I'm so happy that he received that love and appreciation from his peers while he was still alive. But I always felt like, since in the last 19 years, I have felt like Luther just was almost forgotten about. like unless you were in that era or unless you grew up on that music, um like I feel like this new age generation doesn't know anything about Luther Vandross, barely know his music. You know what I mean? So I just felt like over the years his legacy had been forgotten about. So I was very, very happy that this documentary was released. Okay. And I have to say, you guys, I learned quite a bit about Luther that I honestly was not aware of prior to the documentary. And I love that because um a lot of times when I watch these docs on Michael Jackson, Whitney, um I know a lot of what is stated in the documentary, so there isn't too much that's a surprise to me, but there were some things that were surprising to me in this documentary. And of course, y'all, I have detailed notes. I have detailed notes. So I'm going to start with some of the basic things that I just did not know in reference to Luther and his start in the music business and the entertainment business, if you will. So I had no idea that Luther on Sesame Street, like good old Sesame Street. I had no idea Luther was doing that. I had no idea that Luther was a background singer for so many people. I did not know that. And I thought that was amazing, baby. I love that for him because I feel like that is like the best practice you can get before becoming a musical artist on your own. I feel like when you're on tour, because when you're a background singer, you are there, honey. You are touring. You have a rigorous schedule just like the main artist. You have rehearsals, you have a insane schedule. You have to keep your voice up. It's hard work. So I think a lot of his professionalism and perfectionist ways when it came to his artistry stemmed from his years, at least in part, stemmed from his years of experience as being a background singer for a lot of big notable names. Some of the notable names that we have to give credit, who is it? Lisa Fisher? Let me see. Let me pull up my stuff. Roberta Flack, Lisa Fisher, David Bowie. Okay, these are big, big, big names back then, and these people really gave him a shot. Really respected his craft and his artistry and his talent, and really, in some regards, took him under their wing and provided him with an opportunity. Um, of course, later on, once he became famous, we learned that he wrote a lot of songs for Aretha Franklin and why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting? Why am I forgetting her name? Oh my god. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Not Sissy. Y'all, this is why Bette Midler, that's not who I was thinking of. Bette Midler was also someone that he toured with and was a background singer. Dionne Warwick, sorry, he wrote for Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick, several other people. I just did not realize how talented and gifted he was beyond the voice, right? Beyond the voice. And can we just give credit to just songwriting and like the true gift that people have to write songs? It's truly a gift, and I wish I had that gift. I wish I was a songwriter. Years ago when I was in chorus, um, I tried to write an R&B song, baby. That thing, it didn't work, baby. Writing and producing is not for everyone. But Luther had that talent, honey. So he was working with the best of the best of the best of the best. Okay. I did not know that he had a lucrative career, not only as a background singer, but doing jingles for commercials, honey. Luther was making that shmoney. That shmoney. me, okay? This is before Luther became a solo artist. He was already, before becoming a solo artist, this man was already able to provide for his mom, move his mom into a nice house and do all these things and really live a good life just off of that. This is before he became solo artist Luther Vandross. On a more personal, sad note, I did not know that his father died when Luther was only 8 years old. That is a very, very young age to lose a parent. Now, I was kind of questioning why they did not explain to us how the father passed. I am curious, how did he pass away? I just thought that was interesting. They didn't reveal why, but that is very sad. And can't imagine how that was, not having a parent, losing a parent at the tender age of 8 years old. Okay. Now shout out to Roberta Flack. Roberta Flack is the person who really pushed Luther to pursue his solo career. She really saw something in him. And this is why, how do I even begin to say this? It is so important to have people in your life and in your circle that support you and truly want the best for you. Okay. It is important to have people in your life who have good character and who have integrity. Okay. Roberta Flack, all hats to her, because it takes a special, really, it takes a special person to say, hey, even though I love having you a part of my team, even though you're benefiting me and making my shows better, I want more for you. I see more for you. And I'm willing to let you go and release you so that you can better yourself and really follow your path and follow your dreams. Because in her mind, he was too special. She said it on the documentary. Luther was too special. Luther had too much talent to be singing doo-wop, pop, 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 pop background. She was like, boo, boo, not on my watch. Fly, little birdie, fly. Go ahead and do solo, baby. And he seemed like he was reluctant, but she was like, no. And so people like that, you guys, people like that are very hard to find, especially when you're dealing with people who are in the same industry as you, who could easily see you as competition. And I'm telling you guys, people like that, they're out there, but they're hard to find. Now, I have met people like that this year, and I'm very, very thankful. I've met really kind people who, even in the same industry as me, even trying to pursue the same thing as me, they'll call me with opportunities. It's a beautiful thing. So shout out to Roberta Flack for really encouraging Luther to go solo. Okay. Luther goes solo, baby. The fact that Luther's first, how do I say this? The fact that Luther's first song, the first song that this man went into the studio with his producers, with his people, with his band, with whoever, I forget the man's name, who was very prominent on the documentary, who worked very closely with Luther for many, many years on the music side, as far as like a musician. I don't remember if he was a guitar, piano. I can't remember what instrument he played, but there was a couple brothers on there who really were pivotal as well in Luther's career. Nonetheless, the fact that Never Too Much was Luther's first song that he went into the studio and was like, yo, I'm about to lay this shit down. The fact that Never Too Much was his first hit, the fact that Luther went solo and instantly had a hit, that's crazy. That's unheard of. Because a lot of times these new artists, especially like him, artists who've been in the business who decide I'm gonna go solo. The fact that he had a hit immediately, it doesn't always happen that way, you guys. A lot of times it's several records gets kind of filled out and gets vetted and see, okay, is this gonna be a hit? Is this gonna be a hit? But the fact that he came out swinging with the hit, the fact that record labels questioned Luther, the fact that record labels actually heard Never Too Much and didn't believe in it, it just goes to show you that even when you get rejected, you guys, even when people tell you no, if 5 people tell you no, oh shit, I'm getting passionate. If 5 people tell you no, that doesn't mean you go with that. If you believe it, all it takes, and my mom told me this years ago, all it takes sometimes is one person to tell you yes, one person to believe in you, one person to give you a shot. You can get 5 no's, 10 no's, 20 no's. One yes can change the trajectory of your life. Okay. So I forget the record label that he was signed to. So forgive me, but one record label said yes. And baby, once Never Too Much came out, it was a instant hit. It instantly put him on the map. I'm talking about record-breaking numbers. I think they said it was on the charts for 84 weeks. 84 weeks. Man, nobody's doing that shit no more. 84 weeks on the chart. I forget which chart it was, but it don't matter. It was a chart, baby. Okay. So instant success, chart-topping hits, chart-topping records. He's on every talk show, every interview, concerts, tours. Like Luther, baby. My man Luther took off. Do you hear me? Luther took off. Luther took off, and it was just so phenomenal. It was just so amazing. Let's see, Monique Nicole. Who you think has better vocals, Luther? Oh, Demarcus. I love Teddy. Ooh, Teddy Pendergrass's voice is another very unique voice. I will never take away his talent. He's one of my favorite male vocalists of that time, but I'm gonna have to go with Luther. I'm still gonna have to go with Luther. But Teddy's not too far behind. I'll say that, but I'm gonna have to go with Luther on this. That's a great question, though, Demarcus. Thank you for that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, dog. Hold up. I see some of y'all dropping off. Hold up, boo-boo. Hold up, boo-boo kitty. Hit that like button before y'all go. Okay, get me up in that algorithm, y'all. For real. Hook a sister up. Hook a sister up. And replay crew. See, it's late. I'm doing this shit at midnight. Honestly, hindsight, I probably should have just recorded this and posted it as an upload, but you know, we're here now. So, all right, y'all. Let me pull back up my notes. Okay, I have to give a shout out to my girl, one of my favorite artists of all time, Mariah Carey, the Mariah Carey. Endless Love is one of my favorite songs, and it had Mariah Carey and Luther Vandross. I mean, y'all don't realize I am a huge Mariah Carey fan. Huge fan of Mariah. So I love seeing her, you know, briefly in the documentary. I love seeing their performance. Let's make it clear. I think Luther was the first one to publicly call her diva. And when he said it, it did not have any type of negative connotation. He actually meant it as a compliment. But nonetheless, it was great seeing Mariah Carey on stage with Luther, and Endless Love, one of my favorites. And I'm sorry, their vocals, because you know, y'all know that was Mariah Carey's, like, I don't want to say prime, but that was when she I'm not gonna say her prime. That was when Mariah Carey first came out, baby. first came out. So she was a new kid on the block. And I love that Luther embraced her and gave her a shot. I had to give my girl a shout out. All right, y'all, we're about to get into, I got the fun stuff out the way, and unfortunately, we're about to get to more of these serious and emotional aspects of the documentary, okay? So I was not aware of the tragic car accident that Luther was involved in. I think this is still in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was still the 80s when this accident happened in Los Angeles, and that unfortunately killed his friend. Oh, Demarcus. I'm currently in an appeal with YouTube. And it might get rejected. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so upset. My feelings are hurt. I'm very frustrated. What happened to me actually happened to another YouTuber in our community. And yeah, I'm pretty hurt and upset by it, because you guys know I've been on YouTube for like a while now. And it really meant a lot to me when I became monetized, and the fact that they snatched it away and on some BS really, with no real validity behind it. And then now I'm having to fight tooth or nail to appeal it. It's really disheartening, but I don't know, Demarcus. Wish me luck. Wish me luck, honey. All right, back to Luther. So I believe it was still the 80s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Luther was in a tragic car accident, you guys, in LA. And I believe the person in the car with him, I'm assuming was a friend, died. Luther was hospitalized. He was in the hospital for a little bit and had to recover, and everything really was put on pause. And that affected him in a negative way, right? Based on what his friends. And let me just give a shout out to the documentary. And I'm really happy they did a documentary, because some people were like, "Oh, I wish we need to get a biopic." I feel like because Luther has not gotten enough recognition in the last 19 years since he's been gone, I'm so happy they went this route. I think this route of a documentary where we can get some of the people closest to him, people that worked with him, we can get snippets of his previous interviews where he dove deep and was vulnerable and expressed his stuff. I think that was really important and very necessary. And so I'm really happy with this. But nonetheless, I said that to say some of his close friends, just reflected on how much of a difficult time that was for him, and how that really did lead him to depression and his weight issues, you guys. So we're going to have to talk about it. Tough topic on this was his weight. It's something that I always remembered being an issue. It was tough. It was really tough. Luther was big. I don't like to say the word fat. I mean, shit, I'm fat right now, y'all. But anyway, Luther was large at a time where society just heavily shamed people for being overweight. Uh-oh. Is my Wi-Fi acting a fool? Lord have mercy. Jesus. Man, I'm pissed off right now, bro. Sick of this shit. Oh my God, it's saying the Wi-Fi connection. This is some ghetto ass shit. And it's messing with my flow. It's really messing with my flow, guys. I'm trying to have real intimate conversation right now, and this is pissing me the fuck off. And I'm not really sure what to do. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit, you guys. I'm actually really upset right now, and AT&T is about to get a piece of my mind. I haven't had Wi-Fi issues in so fucking long. And I don't want to continue to talk until I fix it because I don't want it to be choppy and you guys tell me that you can't hear me. Because then that's gonna defeat the whole purpose of me doing this damn video and talking if y'all not gonna be able to hear what the hell I gotta say. And I was about to get on some deep shit. Okay. Yeah, you guys, I'm just gonna keep going. So Luther was overweight at a time when society heavily shamed people who were fat. I'm just gonna say it. That was the term that was used, and no one had any sympathy, right? There was no compassion. There was no, at that time, there was no compassion. There was no think pieces about mental health and food addiction and obesity. There wasn't nothing about that. All he was teased about it. You know what I'm saying? It was an open topic of conversation. Every interview he did, every talk show, like I just my heart hurts for him because I know I've struggled with my own weight fluctuating over the years, and right now I'm not happy with my weight at all. um and that's like one level to it, and then you add the level of being in the public eye, and I just the scrutiny and judgment and the ridicule that he received back then, my heart really aches for him. And you really had to have tough skin during that era. You know what I'm saying? You really had to have tough skin. And he really handled it with grace. Um, Eddie Murphy, during his comedy skit, made fun of Luther and made some reference to Kentucky Fried Chicken. So to clap back at him in a really funny way. Eddie had attended one of his live shows, and Luther brought out a whole prop and had a huge bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, baby, because Eddie Murphy was in the crowd. I thought that was funny, but it's things like that. And I've been in that. I mean, I can relate because it's kind of like you almost feel like you have to meet that with comedy. It's almost like you got to laugh to keep from crying type thing. But I know, as someone who struggled with her weight, I know that hurt him. And based on what his friends said on the documentary, I know that sometimes it hurt him and it was very difficult for him. His weight drastically fluctuated, throughout his career, which is unhealthy. His weight is one thing for your weight to like fluctuate a little bit, but Luther's weight drastically would fluctuate, which is very, 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 very unhealthy. And I'm just trying to think back in those times of like the 80s and 90s. Obviously he had to have had doctors tell him, right? Especially with him being diabetic. I did not know Luther was diabetic, which that kind of puts a lot into perspective as well, as far as his health and his demise years later, sadly. But it just sucks because it's like, Lord, if he has Ozempic back then, you know what I'm saying? But we learned that with his weight, there was a addiction piece there. There was a food addiction piece, and food addiction is very real. I know it doesn't get talked about a lot. It doesn't get a lot of sympathy. It doesn't get talked about, honestly. But food addiction is real, and one thing that we learned is that Luther used food as a way to cope with a lot of pain and things happening in his life. He so before that tragic car accident that he was involved in, he had lost the weight. He had lost a drastic amount of weight, like over 100 pounds he lost. And after that accident, him being in the hospital, him recovering, him being depressed that essentially his friend was killed in the accident, he ate. he ate, he coped with food, and he put on a lot of the weight, and that was very hard. That was very hard to see and to hear being talked about. So I really felt for him. Okay. Um, his sexuality. All right, y'all. We about to get into some things. His sexuality. Very tough. Very, very tough. Very tough. Um, it's pretty loaded, but it's really not that hard to understand or explain. So when it came to his sexuality, um, I didn't know. I was young. I didn't know until years and years and years later that his sexuality was questioned. Now, I don't know if it started at the beginning of his career or if it happened throughout or later, but after watching the documentary, my heart hurt for him because it's like, he never got to experience being in love. Okay. It's like I wrote this down, guys. I really had to write down my authentic feelings in the moment. Hey, Greta. Good to see you, boo. Thank you so much for coming by. Please hit that like button, honey. Okay. I'm trying to get put into that algorithm. I'm trying to have my channel grow. Please hit that like button, sweetie. I appreciate you. Back to Luther. Having to hide your true self. Having to hide your true self is probably one of the worst feelings ever. Um, I deeply sympathize for him and what he had to endure. He had a lot of pressure, from loved ones, his mom, of course, even though they had a great relationship, back in the day, especially the mom being heavily involved in church and religion. There's no way, it's just he didn't want her to find out. So it's pressure from loved ones, fans. He's this man singing tender love songs, and there were women who were very fond of Luther. There were women who thought Luther was attractive and were really I don't want to say turned on, but I guess turned on by his charm, his lovely personality, and obviously the obvious, his voice, right? His voice was impeccable, and then not only his voice, it was the type of songs he was singing love songs, and that was a thing back then, and people loved it. I love that clip of him on Oprah, and the women in the crowd were just woo, and Oprah was like, oh my god, like the girls used to like Luther whether he was gay or not. The girls liked Luther once upon a time when everybody thought he was straight. The girls liked him, so he had to obviously keep up that facade. Like he damn sure couldn't come out even if he wanted to. Like, come on now. You know, your selling point is women. Don't get me wrong. Luther was a men loved Luther. It wasn't just a gender thing, but it's like obviously you're singing love songs to women. You can't be gay. You know what I mean? So he had to deal with that too. Fans, society, record label, family. Being gay was just simply not acceptable back then. It just wasn't, especially not for him, right? I just it hurts. It hurts because I cannot identify with that because that's not my life. I'm not a part of that community. But as a very empathetic person, I empathize because I would never want to shame someone for simply being their authentic self. Like I don't like even if I don't like it, love it, I- I'm never going to disrespect anyone for living in their truth, right? And I just think it's really asinine that we shame people, especially God back then. I mean, now it's accepted but back then it was really taboo. It was just like, no, there's no way you can be gay. You know what I mean? So to have to kind of hide that was tough. Now, um, let's see. Wait, okay, well, do I want to go here next? No, let me go here first before I get to Patti LaBelle. Okay, so with the sexuality thing, there was a clip of him on Oprah when when Oprah had her talk show many, many years ago. And I think someone in the audience asked him what was his two favorite songs and why, or the two most meaningful songs at that time, whatever the question was. And he said the song Any Love. Okay. And that's one of my favorite Luther songs, by the way. However, the story behind Any Love is very sad. And it's funny because Any Love is a very like upbeat song. It's a very, very upbeat, beautiful, catchy song. And when he started saying the lyrics to Oprah and the audience, because Oprah didn't catch on at first. She's like, "Why are you so emotional about this?" And then she was like, "What's the next lyric?" And when he said the next lyric, it was like, "Oh, he is really saying that he is yearning for any love, right?" And one of Luther's friends in the documentary was like, "Well, Luther, we love you, right? We love you. You." He was like, I know y'all love me, but love, like Luther yearned deeply for romance, a romantic love, a love interest, a partner, companionship. And the fact that he never had that, like, I don't even think Luther dated. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I wouldn't wish that on any, like, well, I would wish that on some people who are evil, but you get what I'm saying? I want everyone to experience love. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the fact that let me pull up the goddamn lyrics so y'all understand how deep the shit went when he broke down the lyrics. I was like, and that's the power of music. We literally can just be bobbing to anything and we don't even know. You put a little upbeat tempo to it and it's like, oh my God. Ooh. Oh, in my heart, there's a need to shout, dying, screaming, crying, let me out. Are all those feelings that want to touch any love? Ooh, what a world. What a world for the lonely guy. Sometimes I feel I'm going to lose my mind. Can anybody tell me just where to find any love? Oh, when I tell you that brought tears to my eyes. And then there was a part when he said on Oprah about something, it was something, tears to my eyes or something. Suddenly, out of the clear blue sky, lonely tears start to fill my eyes. I can weep, but I refuse to cry. I've got to keep holding on. I've got to be very strong to keep holding on. Everyone needs a love, no doubt. Any love, any love. You guys, that's deep. That's deep. And I could cry right now. I'm not going to do it. Very touching. Very touching. Because no matter what people say, no matter how hard people try to act and what tough exterior we try to put on, um, all people really want is to be loved. It is human nature to want to be loved and accepted. I don't care what anyone tries to tell you. People try to act so hard, and it is, if you are a somewhat sane person, it is human nature to want to be loved and accepted. And reading those lyrics now at my age, just with my own life experience, it is very sad. It was very deep. And so that was one of my favorite Luther songs. And I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's not that the song is ruined for me, but I will be very candid. I probably will never be able to hear that song again in the same way. Like the song is such a upbeat, up tempo song, and that upbeat happiness kind of masks the really sadness of the song. So now that I know the lyrics and that he really wrote that song, it brings some sadness to it. He was very lonely, you know. He had people, luckily he had people around him that loved him, right? He was able to experience love from family and friends and peers, but everybody wants to fall in love. I don't care what anyone says. Everybody wants to experience love. That made me sad. All right, moving on. This is when it gets a little messy. And not really messy, but kind of. It gets messy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You guys, I was very upset. I was very upset. I was very bothered that they excluded Patti LaBelle from the documentary. I felt like Patti LaBelle played a very pivotal role in Luther's career. Okay, they worked together. I think he sung backup for her as well. Okay, they were also very close friends. So they had a professional and a personal relationship with each other for many years until his death. So I thought it was really tasteless that you guys did not include her in the documentary. You did not include her to share her history with Luther and their time together on a professional or personal tip, but you're going to use her likeness to essentially call her. I wrote my notes down, y'all, because I had to be very authentic with my feelings and write this shit down so I wouldn't forget. I said, what did I write? Sorry, y'all, I'm getting tired. Yeah, you guys you're going to exclude me from the document, but you're going to use my likeness to paint me in a negative light. Let me give y'all some context. A few years ago, I think this is actually before COVID, so we're talking 5-6 years ago at this point. Patti LaBelle was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen asked her about Luther Vandross in a very respectful way, and basically was asking about basically any hardships that he may have faced battling with the secret of his sexuality, you know, in the music business. I'm paraphrasing. And Patti gave a very respectful, honest response. I don't think it was rude. I don't think she overshared. I don't think she shared any deep, dark secret. I don't think she was being salacious. I think it was, listen, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. And y'all can, let me see if they're going to play. Okay, here we go. Wait, no, bitch. Don't tell me y'all took it down now because of all this. Let me see. Because I'm going to be pissed off. This shit been on for damn 6 years. And y'all. Hold on, y'all. They got Patti. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, Gina. Because I really want y'all to hear it for yourself, baby. Oh, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed they took the shit down. Oh, fuck, nigga. You guys, I'm gonna be so pissed because I thought it was on here. Nonetheless, it's exactly pretty much how I stated. And I felt like Patti was not being distasteful. I don't feel like Patti was being rude. I don't feel like she was being salacious, like I said. And for the powers that be, for Luther's family, his estate, the other people involved, for them to almost villainize her, like she did something wrong, is really asinine to me because it's like, okay, y'all, like that man had been gone for quite some time. And to be quite frank, the rumors were already there. Now, some could say, it wasn't her place to confirm the rumors, but I feel like intention matters. And I do not feel like Patti LaBelle had any ill intent. Okay. I, I really don't. I really don't. I think she was being sympathetic. And she basically said, look, he did share with me about his sexuality privately. And, respectfully, he just did not want his mother to, he didn't want to disappoint his mom. He didn't want to disappoint people. And it was very, very hard for him to, sit in that. And, even the thought of revealing it was difficult. She came from a very sympathetic place, you guys. And I don't appreciate them villainizing Patti LaBelle like she blew the lid off of some deep, dark family secret. Because let's be quite frank, all of the friends that were on the documentary during that segment about his sexuality was a talking piece in the documentary. Okay. So you sitting in on that part of the documentary, kind of in a roundabout way, you're kind of speaking to his sexuality. Yes, his friend said, look, I'm going to take whatever stance Luther took. That's the stance I'm going to take. But you saying all that is insinuating that there is truth to it and that he was gay. So to me, it's really no different than when you really compare it together and line the shit up, it's really no different from what Patti LaBelle did. And I just think it was very, very, I know she was hurt. There was articles that came out that Patti's team felt away, and they have every right to feel, they say her team, but it's obviously Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle has every right to feel how she feels about the situation because I just can't. I don't like when people get villainized for stupid stuff. It was stupid. Patti didn't do nothing wrong. And it just is what it is, y'all. But I feel for Luther, man. Poor Luther, man. He really had it kind of tough in that aspect, between the weight, between his sexuality, between not being able to really explore and live in his truth and find real love. It was very hard. That part really made me cry. And made me very, very sympathetic for him, and just kind of like he lived kind of a lonely life. Now he lived a fun life, you know what I'm saying? His friends, him, and I love that a lot of the friends that Luther started out with in the business, they became his lifelong friends. Like, they really spent their life together and vacation together and obviously toured together and were very close. And he really had a good, tight-knit crew and support system and friends. And I'm thankful he had that, because some people don't have that. So I'm thankful he had that. But again, he still was lonely, and any love was an example of his true feelings. And guys, we're about to wrap it up. At this point, we're hitting his later years, okay? In the music industry, okay? And something that the documentary highlighted that really was eye-opening for me, and I actually, as smart as I am, I never really thought about it, and it really was eye-opening. In the documentary, they highlighted that around 1999, 2000, the music industry was quickly changing, and hip hop was dominating. Hip hop was dominating the music industry. It was dominating the charts. It was dominating the TV, the radio airways, the award shows. Hip hop was becoming truly mainstream. Okay. And it kind of ushered out a lot of that old school soulful music that was popular for so long. You know what I'm saying? I never realized it makes sense, but I don't think I ever really thought about it in that way and really connected the dots. So by the late 90s, early 2000s, Luther kind of took a break from the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop was dominating. And it was replaced a lot of soulful R&B and things of that nature. So the beautiful thing, he took a couple years off, and guess what, y'all? He came back into the music industry and he signed to Clive Davis. I think at that was it Jive Records, J Records, something like that. This is the early 2000s now. He signed to Clive Davis, and woo, his first hit, not his first hit, but his first hit kind of back was Dance with My Father. And oh my gosh, hit. And he said that I think his bandmate or whatever said, like, Luther told him, like, look, I'm gonna get some pushback. Like the record label probably not gonna want me to do this, but I don't care what they say. This song right here is gonna be a damn hit. And he was right. He was right. And Clive loved it. And it was a instant hit. And it was all over the charts. And I loved seeing that clip of him with AJ and Free on 106 in Park. And shortly after the success of Dance with My Father, Luther had a stroke. In 2003, he had a stroke. Oh gosh, you guys, this is when it gets sad again. He had a stroke in 2003, and now thankfully, that's not what killed him in 2003, but the stroke is what led to his death 100%. The thing about a stroke is, and I'm no doctor, but listen, strokes, you don't play with it. Having a stroke can be catastrophic. Obviously, you can die from it, but even if you don't die, a lot of times people are left with life-changing situations. Some people can't walk again, some people can't speak. And it was so hard to watch Luther later on. I think it was 2004 when he started doing interviews again, and it's like he was not the same person. He didn't look the same. He didn't sound the same. He could not really talk. And I can only imagine what effect that had on someone like him whose gift to the world is his voice. And to barely be able to talk right, which means he definitely wasn't able to sing. That was hard to see. That was so, so hard. And the thing about a stroke that's so sad is just like, you don't know how long he was laying there. So basically his assistant came to his home because I think they had to go somewhere. They had a meeting. Something was going on where the assistant came to the house because they had somewhere to go. The assistant was calling Luther, calling him, ringing the doorbell, knocking, no answer. And he broke up in Luther's place and found Luther. And there's no telling how long he was there, because when you have a stroke like that, it is crucial that you get to the hospital as soon as possible. So I think he might have been there for a while, and that's why he had such a catastrophic stroke that really impacted him in a bad, bad way. The stroke happened in 2003. In 2004, he was starting to recover, and he had a sit down interview with Oprah, and that was hard to see. Like I said, you guys, he did not even look like himself. I'm not even going to bring that up because he did not. I'm not going to bring up the picture of him because he wasn't Luther. Stroke can mess up anyone's life. It's so true. It is just like I said, a stroke you can become disabled from a stroke. There's people who never talk again or walk again, or you know what I mean, people who are having speech delays. A stroke really can affect you. So yeah, it was pretty hard. It was hard to see. And oh, sadly, he passed away a year later, y'all. He passed away in 2005. In 2005, that's when we lost Luther. And you guys, it's just so sad, you know. I really enjoyed the documentary, but and there was so much fun. I do not want you guys to think that it was all sad. It really was not. There was more laughter and fun in it than it was sadness. So please do not think that it was just all sad, sad, sad. It was not. Like, it didn't get sad into the last 30 minutes, if I'm being real. Now, of course, when they talk about the weight issue and how he got in a car accident, his friend died, those were little sad moments, like, you know, but it didn't really get sad into the last 30 minutes. So it's very sad because I feel like Luther's life was cut short. That's just how I feel. I feel like it was definitely cut short. Um I feel like he was about to catch a second wind in the music industry. Like I said, he had just released Dance with My Father. And yeah, so 2003, he released Dance with My Father. And to see him on 106 in Park and see like the young kids embrace him, and you know, it's just like he was about to get his second wind in the industry, I felt like, you know what I mean? And to lose him like that, to lose him like that, um, that was tough. It was tough. It was really, really tough to see. And it was just hard. It's just hard looking back at how many people that we've lost, as far as in the Black culture, the world of entertainment, whatever you want to call it. It's just we've lost a lot of people. And I feel like what I've gathered from his loved ones is that Luther was a very, very, very kind person, very loving person, a good person, you know. And it's very sad that he went out the way he did. And it's sad that he had to face what he faced throughout his career. And it's sad that he never got to experience true love. That's very sad. Um, but you guys, I'm very thankful. I'm very, very thankful that finally his story is being told. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I really felt for a long time that Luther was forgotten about. I felt like while he was here, I do feel like he got his flowers from his peers. I do, because he was well loved. He was well loved and well appreciated by his fellow singers, fellow peers, his friends, his family. And that's amazing. Trust me, that means a lot. But I just feel like since his death 19 years ago, come on now. There's been 500 Whitney Houston documentaries, movies. Why did it take almost 20 years to have one about Luther? Now, if there is one out there floating around, y'all let me know. DM me, send it to me. But I ain't never seen no Luther documentary. And if there is, it's like, you know, it's no comparison to everybody else's documentary. You know, everybody else got 50, 11 movies and docs. And I just felt like Luther deserved, this is long overdue. Like, there should have already been 5 documentaries on Luther. I just think it was long overdue. But the beautiful thing is that his legacy will forever live on. And my future kids, I got Wi-Fi issues again, y'all. I'm about to log off. My future kids are gonna know about the Vandross. Okay. Now, y'all, I'm sorry I was drawn out. Listen, I've been here an hour, 5 minutes. I'm about to go. I'm tired. I had Wi-Fi issues. I'm gonna watch this back, y'all. I hope this is a good video, because if it's not, I'm just gonna have to chop this shit up and make some shit shake. I have Wi-Fi issues. Trust me, y'all. AT&T will get cussed out tomorrow, and they're going to send someone back to my house tomorrow to fix this shit. Because y'all know I don't run no ghetto shit on my channel. Okay. Hey, Ingaboo. Please, Ingaboo, and everybody else on the replay, please. Oh shit. Please catch the replay. Please hit the like button. Help support me. Please comment if you've watched the documentary. Drop in the comments and let me know your opinion. I encourage everyone to watch this documentary. Luther, watch it. He is one of my favorite artists of all time. Do you hear me? Oh shit, I can't even. Oh, StreamYard. You motherfucker, I'm trying to put my man's picture up on there. Ah, shit. Inga said it's choppy, y'all. Hold on. Y'all watch the documentary, okay? I love Luther. I wish he was still here, and I pray that his legacy and his music will live on forever and ever and ever. Y'all, this is ghetto. And yeah, I'm cussing out. Oh, it's making me sound like a robot. Y'all, I'm about to go. This is so fucking ghetto. Anyway, replay crew, please watch the shit back. Like it, comment, do all the oh, now it wants to act right. Replay crew, like, comment, share, do all the things. If you watch the doc, let me know what you think. Please watch it. Please support. And I'm about to go to bed. I love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye.